Hyperarousal is when you have sympathetic nervous system activation, and you see this image on the right. One of the main aspects of a sympathetic activation or a hyperarousal is that the heartbeat gets accelerated. Basically, think of the whole sympathetic system being activated and activating the internal nervous system to get it ready to go. This is what gets activated in the fight and flight response. On the left side of your screen, you're looking at an image of hypoarousal, and that's what happens when the parasympathetic nervous system, the heartbeat slows down, saliva flows, the pupils constrict. This is what happens when somebody becomes more and more relaxed. But the difference between just simply being relaxed and hypoarousal is that when somebody's hypoaroused, they're aroused, or the lack of arousal is such that their body is beginning to shut down. So let's look at that in the context of the window of tolerance. So hyperarousal is on the top and hypoarousal is on the bottom of this image, and in between is the arousal capacity of the individual. Sometimes the window of tolerance is also called the therapeutic window, and the reason I like that terminology is because it speaks to the fact that when somebody is activated, let's say somebody gets triggered or their trauma gets triggered and they're angry or something like that, if they're within the window of tolerance, if they're within the therapeutic window, that means that they can still function somewhat normally, meaning they can engage in conversation with us, we can talk to them, we might ask them some therapeutic questions or teach them a mindfulness exercise or some other type of exercise to help calm them down. However, when they're outside the window of tolerance, they're basically outside the threshold for their own tolerance of whatever symptoms are arising. So in the example of anger, if somebody is extremely hyper aroused, and you see this kind of red line on the screen is depicting sympathetic nervous system activation, it's depicting hypervigilance, it's depicting somebody who has a fight or flight response, and let's just say in this situation it's a fight response and they're extremely angry. When they're at the top of the threshold but still within, they're extremely angry. But when they pass that threshold and jump outside of the window of tolerance, that's when blind rage arises. That's when their brain is so offline that they can't function. They can't talk to you in psychotherapy.